Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to Breath of the Wild. I know I said I was done with this game. I know I did. But I remember there was something that I said we were going to do like a pretty long time ago at this point, and that I never ended up doing them. Today, we're going to try reading through the quest log, going through all the quests, because this page updates, as you progress through the game and as you progress through each of the quests, to add in new hints as to what you're supposed to do next. And then of course there's a recap when you actually finish the thing. So I kind of wanted to go through and look at the recaps and see if there's any cool lore that we missed. I know that there's some, because the reason that I'm going back is because a lore video mentioned something from this quest log that wasn't in the main game, and so I was like, oh, I wonder if there's anything else like that. I was good, and then I never did. So I just got a drink here again to keep me moist for the stream. Moisture. So this is the one that I don't know if there is a finished version of it, because you can't finish this technically. Destroy Ganon from King Roham on the Great Plateau. The ghost of King Roham told you that Hyrule is on the brink of annihilation. Princess Zelda is currently fighting to contain Calamity Ganon inside of Hyrule Castle, but her power cannot keep him at bay forever. Eventually, Ganon will regain his full strength and destroy the world. Your ultimate task is to aid Princess Zelda in defeating Ganon before that can happen. Oh, I'm back in my creaky chair, too. The Champion's Ballad from Zelda at the Shrine of Resurrection. The power within prevailed. You proved your worthiness to Monk Maz Koshaya by completing all the Divine Beast Tamer's trials. Your gift, the Master Cycle Zero, can be found with your runes. After the trial, you met Cass, who sang the completed Champion's Ballad for you. The song helped you recall the distant day you were appointed as a champion. Urbosa's Song from the monk in East Gerudo Mesa. Phantasm of Thunderblight Ganon, which was born from your own memories and fears. Cass's composition, entitled Champion Urbosa's Song, was so true and moving that it allowed you to visualize a memory from 100 years ago. By conquering this trial, your sacred power is increased, and Urbosa's fury can become more efficient than ever. Daruk's Song from the Elder Mountains. You defeated the Phantasm of Fireblight Ganon, which was born from your own memories and fears. Composition, entitled Champion Daruk's Song, was so true and moving that it allowed you to visualize a memory from 100 years ago. By conquering the trial, your sacred power has increased, and Daruk's protection has become more efficient than ever. Champion Mipha's Song from the Jabu Ridge. You defeated the Phantasm of Waterblight Ganon, which was born from your own memories and fears. Cass's composition, called Champion Mipha's Song, was so true that moving allowed you to visualize a memory from 100 years ago. By conquering the trial, your sacred power has increased, and Mipha's grace has become more efficient than ever. Champion Revali's Song from Strock Lake. Defeated the Windbite Ganon, born from your own memories. Cass's Revali's Song, true 100 years ago. Trial, and Revali's Gale has become more efficient than ever. Follow the Sheikah Slate from the Great Plateau. When you inserted your Sheikah Slate into the pedestal marked on the map, a giant tower erupted upward from the ground, carrying you high into the air. From Hyrule Castle, off in the distance, you hear the woman's voice speaking to you again. The Isolated Plateau from the Old Man on Great Plateau. The old man you were talking to informed you that he was King Roham. The voice you heard coming from Hyrule Castle was Princess Zelda. The princess is trapped inside the castle, which is shrouded by Malice, fighting against Ganon. The king's ghost left you with one last directive: rescue Princess Zelda and defeat Ganon. He gave you a paraglider now that his duty is done. Seek out Impa from King Roham on the Great Plateau. Impa, the chief of Kakariko Village, relayed the tale of what happened 100 years ago, as well as the mission entrusted to you by Zelda to free the 4 divine beasts. But first, it seems that your Sheikah Slate is incomplete. Having it fixed at the Hateno Ancient Tech Lab in Hateno Village may provide more clues to your mission. The Era Sword from the Great Deku Tree in the Korok Forest. You've acquired the legendary Master Sword. That which shields the darkness. You feel that the sword itself delights to be in your possession. Even at this moment, Princess Zelda is within Hyrule Castle, fighting to suppress the calamity she endures, believing you will come for her. Will you be able to save her as you are now? Free the divine beasts from Impa and Kakariko Village. There are 4 divine beasts: the divine beast of Alrudania and the Gorons, Meadow of the Rito, Ruda of the Zora, and Boris of the Gerudo. You've reclaimed the 4 divine beasts by defeating the 4 Ganon phantoms haunting them. You are ready to face Ganon. Locked Memories, Impa from Kakariko Village. Impa know that the basic runes of the Sheikah Slate have been restored. She told you that the pictures in the album are Zelda's memories from 100 years ago. Visit the various spots shown in the images Zelda left behind to recall your own memories from that era. Divine Beast Mount Meadow, from Canal and Rito Village. You reported to Canal that Divine Beast Meadow has regained its senses. Your efforts have earned you the power of Champion Rivali's Gale. Divine Beast Redania, from Blodo and Goron City. You reported your success in restoring the Divine Beast Redania to its true self. Peace has finally returned to Goron City. In addition, you received Champion Daruk's Might and can now use Daruk's protection. Reach Zora's Domain from Sidon on Inogo Bridge. You arrived at the throne room in Zora's Domain. According to Sidon, Zora's Domain is in danger, and they need the help of a strong Hylian. Okay, maybe not. I was about to say, is that the Divine Ruda? You told King Dorphon that everything has happened so far, and now it seems even the members of Zora's Domain Council have accepted you. You have earned one of the champion's charms, Mipha's Grace. Divine Beast Mount Ruta has enshrined itself in preparation for the final battle of Calamity Ganon. Really, the wording of these two is like the same, but that one's like more interesting. I wonder if it's going to be the same for Naboris. Forbidden City Entry. Benja of Gerudo Town. You snuck into Gerudo Town successfully. You were able to fool the town guards by disguising yourself in a Gerudo outfit. Naboris. You reported to Riju that you've conquered the Divine Beast Val Naboris. You learned to use Obrosa's Fury, one of the champion's blessings. That's a little different than the others. Captured Memories. Impa from Gakuruka Village. You visited all 13 of the locations shown in the old pictures you covered the associated memories from your days of Princess Zelda. In your memories, Princess Zelda always seemed burdened by her task. Go and save her as quickly as you can to finally ease that burden. Find the Fairy Fountain in Kakariko Village. From Picanjo. You took a picture of the Great Fairy Fountain Picanjo was looking for and showed it for him. Interesting that that's actually a main quest, because a quest that you kind of have to do to get Captured Memories to work properly. Because this like unlocks, at least I think it does, unlock some of the other locations to give you hints. But I didn't realize that was a main quest. I thought it was a side quest that was just kind of important, but I guess not. I've already forgotten how to use these menus. It's been like a day. All right. The Skull's Eye from Jiren in the Ancient Tech Lab. You gained entry to the ancient shrine atop the left eye of Skull Lake. You understand now what Jiren meant when she said that the real trial was getting there. Into the Vortex from the Stone Stablet and Rift Peninsula. You discovered the hero's trial by carrying the orb to the center of the Rift Peninsula. I think that was the curly one. Trial of the Labyrinth, Lomai Labyrinth Island. The labyrinth on the solitary island is difficult, but you prevailed. When you reached the end of the maze, you found an ancient shrine waiting for you. The Spring of Power from Nobo and Istakala Stable. Offer Dinral's scale received from the Red Spirit to the Spring of Power. When you carried out the statue's suggestion, you dropped Dinral's scale into the Spring of Power. An ancient shrine revealed itself. So the sacred relic was indeed Dinral's scale. The Gut Check Challenge. Beg from Gut Check Rock. You showed the Goron brothers your grit knows no bounds, brother. You passed the Gut Check Challenge in one piece. Impressed by your performance, the Goron Blood Brothers let you through to the ancient shrine. They also invited you to challenge the even gutsier version of the course. A Brother's Roast from Bladden in Goron City. Gon Goron ate the deliciously grilled rock roast, giving him the energy he needed to break the wall covering the ancient shrine. Bladden beamed with pride at seeing how strong Gon Goron has become. A Landscape of a Stable from Mayro in the Foothill Stable. There is landscape painting adorning the wall of Foothill Stable. You discovered the shrine hidden in the painting. The Perfect Drink, Pokey, in the East Barrens. When you told Pokey about the ice-cold noble pursuit, she flew off in the direction of the Gerudo Canteen. You can enter the shrine anytime you want. That's kind of funny ending to that one. Test of Will, Beg from Mount Nabarro. After you endured the heated test, a shrine suddenly appeared. So sweaty, brother, Kabeta. Oh, that's all from Kabeta? Well, that's too bad, brother. Sign of the Shadow, cast in Gerudo Tower. As light shines from the northwest skies, from the shadow an arrow flies, pierce the heavens light to reveal the prize. When the light was in the northwest, you saw Gerudo Tower cast a shadow upon the pedestal. After firing an arrow toward the light on top of the pedestal, from the top of the pedestal, later shrine appeared. I was about to say, I didn't shoot it at the pedestal. I shot it at the tower. The Silent Swordswoman, Lane in Gerudo Town. You followed the guidance of the Swordswoman statues to find the treasure amidst the depth of sandstorms. The prize turned out to be an ancient shrine. I think we actually just kind of found that shrine. We might have followed one of the statues, but I think that was the one that was under the bones. We just kind of stumbled upon pretty early on in our Sandseal racing. The Desert Labyrinth, the South Lomai Labyrinth, a labyrinth built at the foot of Deval Peak. There was a shrine waiting for you at the end of the labyrinth. The Seven Heroines, from Rotana in Gerudo Town. When the symbols of the seven find their place, the blessed path will be revealed. The ancient shrine appeared after you matched the symbols on the orbs with the symbols of the 7 heroines. The Eye of the Sandstorm, Noborio from Karakara Bazaar. The treasure sleeping in the sandstorm visible from the Karakara Bazaar turned out to be an ancient shrine. Yeah, that was the other one in that area. All that's left is now is to overcome the hero's trial within. Secret of the Snowy Peaks, the mountain peak log, Mount Grenaja. Casting a shadow on the mysteriously glowing pedestal revealed none other than an ancient shrine. Now venture inside and undergo the trial. The undefeated champ, Tal Sandseal Rally. When you placed the jewel on the pedestal, a shrine appeared. You're now able to enter a Sandseal race anytime you want to. Aim to set a new record. Watch out for the flowers. From Magda, aka Flower Blight, in the Hylia River. You reach the shrine and miss the flowers that Magda had planted. Try not to step on any flowers from here on out. Mount Taran. The 3 Hinox brothers living on Mount Taran each had an orb hanging from their neck. Offering these orbs to the matching pedestals caused an ancient shrine to appear. And actually, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, I'm pretty sure that, like, aside from, like, Rail's Pond, that side quest, most of the quests where you, quote-unquote, have to kill a Hinox, I think you can just take the orb off their neck. Because I've seen people manage to land on the Hinox without waking it up, or, like, ride its hand to, like, get onto its chest. And you can just grab the things off of its neck. And it will, like, wake up after you grab a few, but, like, you can get right up to it and grab it. So theoretically, you could just, like, grab the orb and run from the dude. That probably would, especially on LSI or Eventide Island, that would save you a lot of trouble. Secret of the Cedars. From Clavia and Antino Village. When the 3 summit trees become one, turn your back to them and head toward the sea. A trial encased in stone awaits you there. You solve the riddle of the 3 cedar trees and discover the hero's trial. I actually found the shrine before I got the riddle, but okay. The Cursed Statue from Calip and Fortitino. When a dark light resides in the cursed statue's eyes, pierce its gaze to purge the seal from the shrine. You fired an arrow into the glowing eyes of the statue, and an ancient shrine was revealed. A fragmented monument. Garini from the Palamore ruins. You knelt on one platform as Ganini took his place on the other, causing an ancient shrine to appear. Ganini seemed satisfied as he gazed upon the new discovery. The stolen heirloom. Paya from Kakarika Village. It turned out that the heirloom thieves who struck Impa's manor belonged to the Yika clan. The incident were attempting to leave the Guild of Assassins. After you solved the problem, you returned the heirloom and discovered a new ancient shrine. Guardian Slideshow. Lune and the Puffer Beach. Lune, lover of all things ancient, relinquished her orb once you showed her pictures. When you placed the orb into the pedestal, an ancient shrine appeared. Name, didn't it? What was the name? I can't remember. A Song of Storms from Cass on Kalora Lake. When a lost hero calls down lightning from the sky, the monk responds from a giant mound on high. You found an ancient shrine inside the rock when you shattered with lightning. The Serpent's Jaws, Cass in the Pagos Woods. Offer Ferocious Scale, received from the Golden Spirit to the Spring of Courage. Just as the goddess instructed, you threw Ferocious Scale into the Spring of Courage. A shrine appeared as a result. Stranded on Eventide, from Mystery Person on Eventide Island. Once you offered precious orbs to each of the 3 altars on the island, an ancient shrine appeared. As you did, someone's voice spoke to you, and all your equipment was returned. I do find it interesting that in cases like this, where like a mystery person gives you a quest, you find out who gave you the quest when you finish the quest. This was the monk inside of the shrine who gives you the blessing. But for some reason, it doesn't like fill in the question marks that you discovered who gave you the quest after you finished it. I think that that's weird. I would have done that differently. It's not like a big deal, but that is something that like stood out as odd to me. I'm also just now noticing, wow, I'm blind as a fucking bat. I'm just not noticing that the Sheikah Slate, like the actual item, is on like the right hand of the side of the screen, just kind of like faded out and like behind the text and whatnot. That's interesting. Because we're in the pause menu, not the Sheikah Slate menu, so I guess that explains why you wouldn't be looking at the screen on it. But that's kind of weird. That like you have a pause menu that specifically is to like open the Sheikah Slate, but then the other one just has the Sheikah Slate like there in the corner. That's odd. The bird in the mountains, Molly from Rito Village. When you looked out from atop the lone cedar tree Molly told you about, you saw the shape of a large bird in the snowy cliff tops. As you soared down to investigate, you caught a glimpse of an ancient shrine. Recital at Walber's Nest from Kiel at Rito Village. You solve the mystery behind the Rito Village song at Walber's Nest, uncovering an ancient shrine in the process. The sisters, thrilled to participate to practice their songs and find the secret, went back to Rito Village. Ancient Rito song from Bedoli in Rito Village. The pride of the Rito, pillar in the sky. Its heart lights up when the sun is high. The heat shines down upon a path not whole, but a warning flame can stir its soul. The lyrics in the ancient song from the Rito Village were actually a clue that led to the entrance of a shrine. Trial on the Cliff from the North Lomine Labyrinth. A cliff maze built by someone. A shrine containing a blessing awaited at the heart of the maze. The Spring of Wisdom from Meta in Antino Village. When you tossed Nidra's scale into the Spring of Wisdom, an ancient shrine appeared. Freed from the shackles of evil, Nidra flew away in peace. I kind of wish there were similar quests like for General and Faroche. It was cool finding Faroche like moving around casually like first, but like Nidra was such like an interesting quote unquote boss fight. I think it's a shame we couldn't do something like that for the other two. The ceremonial song from Laruda in Zora's Domain. You thrust the spear that Trello dropped into the pedestal hidden in Vale Falls, causing an ancient shrine to appear. The crowned beast, cast in Ravia Plain. A beast that wears a crown of bone, prancing through the lush green. Mount the beast upon his throne, for only then the shrine is seen. The beast wearing a crown of bone was a mountain buck. As the song instructed, being atop a mountain buck while it stood on a pedestal caused the shrine to appear. Master of the wind, on a lagoon. He breaks the rocks that serve to bind, above the tempestuous bay. On wings of cloth and wood entwined, he lands on the altar to the open way. The wings of cloth and wood entwined turned out to refer to the paraglider. After harnessing the wind and landing on top of the dais, a shrine appeared. The Lost Pilgrimage from Tasho and Quark Forest. Okai arrived safely at the destination and succeeded the first trial. Turns out the destination was one of the shrines dotting Hyrule. The Two Rings, cast from West Hyrule Plains. When a single arrow threads two rings, the shrine will rise like birds on wings. An ancient shrine appeared when you loose a single arrow through two ring-shaped rocks. Shrouded Shrine from the Typhlo Ruins. Someone built this challenge within the Typhlo Ruins. When you stole the object from the Hinox hidden in the depths of the ruins and placed it on a pedestal, a shrine appeared. Under a Red Moon, cast from Hyrule Ridge. When the moon bleeds and the fiends are reborn, the monks will invite you as they've sworn. But first you must stand on the pedestal bare, with nothing between you and the night air. After you took off all your clothing and stood on top of the pedestal on the night of a blood moon, an ancient shrine appeared. Cliffside Etchings. Giggle from the Tabantha Bridge Stable. When you tried going to the spot that Giggle pointed out to you, noticed the design etched in the cliff. When you shot a shock arrow at the center of this image, an ancient shrine appeared. Trial of Second Sight. Zuki in the Quark Forest. The hungry trees will show you the way. Spy their iron to win the day. You discover the ancient shrine just beyond the trees with iron orbs in their mouths. The Test of Wood. Damien in the Quark Forest. You arrived at your destination with the Forest Dweller's sword, the Forest Dweller's bow, and the Forest Dweller's shield equipped. There you found an ancient shrine. Trial of Thunder, Thundera Plateau. You set the four spirits in their proper places based on the diagrams on the stone pillars. When this was done, a shrine appeared on the middle of Thunder Plateau. Okay, something that's kind of interesting that we're going to notice as we get into the next section is that for the side quests, they're organized more or less by like the area that you got them. This doesn't seem to be following that quite so like properly because we have two Korok Forest puzzles back to back, but then there's another Korok Forest puzzle up here. And it's like, it felt like at the start maybe it was doing that because it's like, oh, here's a lot of like Akala quest, here's a lot of Death Mountain quests, here's a lot of Gerudo quests, but then it just kind of became more random and random as time went on. He kept jumping back and forth. I don't think it's based on the order that you complete them either. It's not alphabetically either. I don't know how these ones are organized, because this one, it's like region that you got them and then alphabetically. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Or maybe not. Because that's not alphabetically. But it is based on like the region that you got them here. So it's weird that it's not like that for the Shrine Quests. Alright. Ancient Horse Rumors from the Highland Stable. You found the ancient horse gear at Satori Mountain and a Melania Spring. Equip your horse with the ancient bridle for a longer lasting and nurse will come running whenever you call, no matter how far you are. Believing those rumors really paid off. Royal Guard Rumors from Riverside Stable. You found the Royal Guard uniform from the treasure chests in the hidden room near the dining hall, the storage space, and the guard's chamber, and on the second floor of the castle. Believing those rumors really paid off. Actually, kind of an interesting thing here. Interesting thing. I missed a lot of stuff in Hyrule Castle, which I kind of expected, but one thing that I'm really kicking myself for not checking, underneath just about every staircase there's a treasure chest. A lot of the staircases you can like sneak around and get under, and there's treasure underneath the stairs. And I just missed all of the treasure under the stairs. I feel like a dumbass. It's such like an obvious thing. Merchant Hood from the Jaya Village ruins. The traveling merchant's hood is in the right hand of the dragon that consumes the Spring of Courage at Drasco Lake. You located the treasure chest in the right hand of the dragon ruins at Drasco Lake and got Bravio's hood. Garb of the Winds. The blue garb of the hero who controlled the wind and traveled the oceans where the Menot River is born. You found the treasure that was hidden in Coral Lake and obtained the Island Lobster shirt. Usurper King. The helm of the self-proclaimed Queen of Shadows is in the swamp at the Valley of the Dead Trees, south of the Dueling Peaks. You found the treasure that was hidden at Tabio's Hollow and obtained Zan's helmet. Dark Armor. The evil spirit's armor set is hidden in Farency of Trees. Find these pieces at the highest of 3 waterfalls north of Lake Floria, at the bridge between the small waterfalls over Floria River, and at the broken stone bird of the Barra Forest. You found the treasure hidden at Corda Lake, Sidra Bridge, and Eberron Forest. You obtained the Phantom Ganon set. Trial of the Sword. You conquer the merciless trial of... Now this one kind of makes sense for question marks, though, because the monks don't give you their names. I think it's just Sword Monk. Sword Monk's Trial. Merciless Trial of the Sword. You now have the physical and mental strength necessary to use the Master Sword to its full potential. Princess Zelda is no doubt quite happy with your achievement. Strange Mask Rumors. You found the Korok Mask in the Spooky Trees Hollow within the Lost Woods. The Korok Mask will inform you when a Korok is hiding nearby. Teleportation Rumors. You managed to reach the Lowmire Labyrinth Island and found the travel medallion in a secret underground room. Just as the rumor said, the travel medallion lets you travel instantly to whatever location you placed it at. It seems believing in those rumors paid off. Ancient Mask. The ancient mask lies in the ruins where soldiers gathered. From there, the waters of Lake Colomo are visible. You found the treasure that was hidden at the Colomo garrison ruins and obtained Majora's Mask. Fairy Clothes. The green garments of the man who wished to be a fairy in the ruins where trade flourished, at the ruins where sinners were imprisoned, and at the village ruins next to the farmland where many people gathered. You found the treasure that was hidden at the Exchange ruins, Castletown prison, and Maple Village ruins. You obtained Tinkle's outfit. Twilight Relic. The Princess of Twilight, whose stories were handed down alongside those of the hero Twilight. Her helmet can be found at the temple ruins soaked in the waters of Venetia River. You found the treasure that was hidden at Sage Temple ruins and obtained Midna's helmet. Oh, the Princess of Twilight. Now, see, the thing is, I always used to because Link does have official titles, based on the games. So it's Wind Waker Link is the hero of wind, Ocarina of Time Link is the hero of time. I always use Princess of Wind, Princess of Time, whatever, to refer to the Zeldas of those periods. But apparently the Princess of Twilight, officially, is not Zelda from Twilight Princess. It is Midna. Okay. That makes sense, but still, it kind of, messes with my naming scheme. Phantasma. Armor worn by fierce phantoms, feared even by heroes, is hidden in the ruins of Hyrule Field. Find these pieces at a battleground where brave souls tested their skills, at ceremonial grounds where royal guards are honored, and at the ruins where soldiers of Hyrule gathered. You found these treasure that was hidden at the Colosseum ruins, the Sacred Ground ruins, and the Hyrule Garrison ruins. You obtained the Phantom equipment. Robbie's research from Purr at the Akino Ancient Tech Lab. Though Robbie initially presumed that it was only the power of love that set the ancient oven alight again, he soon realized that the cause is actually you lighting the furnace with a blue flame. If you give it some ancient materials and a generous supply of rupees, the ancient oven will provide some ancient soldier gear in exchange. From the ground up. Hudson from Atina Village. Hudson and Rodson are happily married, and Terrytown is enjoying great prosperity. As a sign of appreciation for bringing the town together, and as compensation for your work, Hudson gave you a hefty amount of gems that were unearthed during the town's construction. You wish the couple eternal happiness before heading on your way. I guess this does kind of break what I was talking about, doesn't it? Because we have the Tino Village, and then you have Terrytown. Okay, so maybe it's not completely region. Parents love Ruli from Terrytown. You were generously rewarded for giving Ruli a monster cake. Her daughter, Honey, seems to have made a full recovery, well enough to even play outside again. Although, again, maybe this just counts as a Terrytown quest, because that's where you get most of it. Hobbies of the Rich. Haggy. from Terrytown. You defeated the two guardians in Torn Wetland and reported to Haggy before night fell. The reward was less than the upfront payment. To actually get back before night fell. I know that was a thing. A shady cousin of Hawes and East Akala stable. You showed Hawes a picture of Kilton. Hawes seems to have a better understanding of Kilton's strange countenance. I'm not good at speaking normally. Little Sister's big request. Jenna at South Akala stable. You gave Gleam of the Warm Darner, Cold Darner, and Electric Darner. Jenna gave you a reward for all your trouble. Oh yeah, because I guess you got this quest in Atino, but you finished it in Akala, so maybe this does still all count as Akala stuff. Hylian homeowner, Bolson in Atino Village. You ordered lots of furniture and exterior knickknacks, and your house is finally done. Bolson seems pretty relieved to have finished such a big job. The statue's bargain, the horn statue in Atino Village. You persuaded the horn statue to return your container. Now you can exchange containers for a small cost. The horn statue will buy a hard container or standard vessel for 400 rupees and sell your choice afterward for 120 rupees. Which, at first I thought that meant you had to spend 220 to swap stuff, but no, it's the horn statue gives you 100 rupees and then you give it 120, so it's only technically 20 rupees to swap hearts. Unless, of course, you're just trying to minimize your heart count, maximize your rupee count, then you won't buy them back. But a gift from my beloved, Manny from Atino Village. You delivered the 10 restless crickets to Manny and received a reward. He confessed that he was the one who wanted to catch Prima's eye. His plan now is to find the other 90 restless crickets on his own and present them to Prima when he asks her out on a date. Seems you're off the hook. I only have 10. You can help him finish that. The weapon connoisseur, Neb from Atino Village. You show Neb, the young man. That was a child. That was but a child. That is a wee boy, not a young man. Preposterous. Young man, my ass. You showed Neb, the young man in Atino Village, all the weapons he could ever want to see. He rewarded you with a diamond. He feels that his grandfather is unquestionably smiling down on him from the next world now. The sheep rustlers, Koyin in Atino Village. You told Koyin that you cleared out the monsters living on Atino Beach. In return, Atino Bitch. In return, she gave you a handsome reward. You feel like you're getting along quite well with Koyin now. Maybe? Am I? I haven't talked to her since I did that quest. That was the second, third side quest I finished. Sunshroom sensing. Simon in Atino Ancient Tech Lab. You gave Simon the 3 sunshrooms you requested. Simon helped you see how valuable registering things to your Halo Compendium can be. If you have an item registered in your Compendium, it's easy to find with the Sheikah Sensor Plus. Ready for upgrades, Atino Ancient Tech Lab. Pura powered up your Sheikah Sensor, remote bombs, and stasis. Pura claims that she's now pushed your runes as far as they can go. Sunken treasure, Roselle in Lurin Village. Rosa looked happy when he heard about the treasure. The idea that there may be more treasure still waiting in the ocean depths tickles your sense of adventure. What's for dinner? Kiana in Lurin Village. You brought Kiana the goat butter and hearty blue shell snail required for seafood paella. She shared some of the dish and thank you with you as a thank. Recipe is goat butter, blue shell snail, mighty porky, rock salt, and Hylian rice. I wonder if the rest of those recipes are going to be in the Katala, not the Katala, her sister, in those quests. I wonder if the recipes will be there too. Take back the sea. Sebasto from Lurin Village. The monsters that once occupied the encampment on Eris Beach have been dispatched, and the village's regular fishing operations have resumed. Coco's kitchen. Yeah, this is Coco. Coco in Gakarika Village. Coco was panicking after forgetting to stock up on sweet carrots for the hasty vegetable cream soup. But now she has the ingredients she needs. There's a big smile on both Coco and Kotla's faces. Coco's recipe corner. 1 serving of hasty vegetable cream soup. Add rock salt and fresh milk to a bowl of swift carrots. Heat up and stir to taste. Cooking with Coco. Coco heated up the pot in an attempt to make hot buttered apples, but the lack of goat butter had her stymied. You provided some goat butter, and the dish was saved. 1 bushel of hot buttered apples. Coat apples evenly in goat butter and apply heat so it forms a nice thick glaze. Coco cuisine. Coco donned her apron and prepared a dish up a tough meat stuffed pumpkin for her exhausted father Dorian. With the meat you brought to her, she served her father a revitalizing tough meat stuffed pumpkin. 1 tough meat stuffed pumpkin. Hollow out a fortified pumpkin and add any kind of meat, bacon, Coco's speciality. When he handed over the coarser bee honey, the missing ingredient Coco needed for her mother's special dessert, she prepared the dish. A single taste brought back fond memories of her, as tears of joy streamed down her face. Coco's secret recipe corner: 1 serving of mother's honeyed apples, dip an apple in coarser bee honey, heat until ready to be sliced, and serve warm. I do like that, at least for the quests where you cook dishes, the recipe for you. That is nice. That is quite nice. Playtime with Katla. I think I called her Katella a lot, but it's Katla. Katla runs carefree around the village during the day. Her sister's too busy with her cooking to have time to play. Katla used to be bored, now you've given her a fine playmate. By Firefly's Light. Kakariko Village is famous for its fire lads. Watching their faint glow in the night air is a bit like gazing into the night sky. Lastly, the clothes shop baker, Baker, is a huge Firefly fan. Now that she has to see her favorite sight from the comfort of home, she's happy again. Now that she can see the same sight. Flown the Coop, from Kato. Kato's beloved cuckoos made it over the fence and escaped. It took a tough search of the village, but you found them all. Kato now has a better understanding of how much his cuckoos mean to him, as well as a love for his life. Okay. I do kind of wish there was a scroll reel on the side for me to tell how far down I was, but okay. The Prizeless Maracas from Hestu in West Nakleta. You return Hestu's maracas after getting them back from the monsters. When you return the Korok seeds that you found, he allowed you to carry more things. Arrows of Burning Heat from Lola in Kakariko. Okay, again, a kind of a break. That's technically in Kakariko Village, but this is like an actual Kakariko Village quest, so why is this one under this one? Rolo from Kakariko Village. In Lighting the Torches, you seem to have also ignited Rola's passion. The day she can reunite with her husband may not be so far off. Staller is pictured from Juanelle in the Snowfield table. When you show the picture of the Stallers to Juanelle, she carefully traced it so she can have her own copy. It seems she plans on using the picture in an article she's writing. With a picture for inspiration, she's excited to get to work. Curry for what ails you. Lester and Rito Stable. Lester from Rito Stable in the Tabantha Frontier taught you to make curry rice. The base ingredients are Hylian rice and Goron spice. You can add different ingredients to the base recipe to make all sorts of curry rice. Should you ever be in need of Hylian spice, he will trade you some for Goron spice. That's a little bit weird because I feel like Hylian rice is easier to get than Goron spice, but okay. Find Keel from Amali in Rito Village. Amali was relieved to hear that Keel was only practicing her singing at Walbo's Nest. Now that you've asserted her mother, Keel is a favor for you as well. Face the Frost Talus from Gassane in Rito Village. You told the guards from Gassane in Rito Village that you destroyed the Frost Talus in Cold Snap Hollow. Gassane offered you rupees as a thanks, which you gracefully accept. The Apple of My Eye from Junie in Rito Village. You gave Junie, currently honeymooning in Rito Village, a baked apple. She was so grateful that she paid you a few rupees for the service. Junie told you that she'll never turn down a baked apple. If you gather any more, bring them directly to her. The Spark of Romance. Jogo in Rito Village. You gave Jogo, who is honeymooning in Rito Village, some flint, and received a tidy sum of rupees in return. Judo is planning to feed his wife as many baked apples as he can cook. He'll gladly take all the flint you're willing to deliver. Oh, boy. The Jewel Trade, Ramella in Goron City. True to her word, Ramella paid you well for your 10 amber chunks. As any merchant would, Ramella is looking to maintain a steady stock of gems. She'll continue to pay well for whatever gems you bring her in the future. Death Mountain Secret. Dugby in the Goron Hot Springs. The treasure that young Goron Dugby hid and alluded to turned out to be a drill shaft. Once you found it, he's going to let you keep it. Since you found it, he's going to let you keep it. All praise the mighty drill shaft. The Road to Respect, Fugo in Goron City. You defeated the Igneo at Darunia Lake and reported back to Fugo. In return, he gave you 100 rupees. Fireproof Lizard Wrap. Weird that this one manages what the reward was. Some of them mention what the reward was, some of them don't. Fireproof Lizard Roundup, Kima in Southern Mine. As thanks for the 10 fireproof lizards, Kima gave you his Flamebreaker armor. Not only that, but Kima will pay you 20 rupees for every 3 fireproof lizards you bring him. Forgot about that one. Never bothered doing that. Shimei in Woodland Stable. With the ingenious use of octo balloons, you kept your promise to Shimei. As thanks, she will give you a star fragment. Or she gave you a star fragment. Oh yeah, that's right. The girl who talked about Skyloft. Which I've been listening to more theory videos. People think that the Forgotten Temple and the Pomegranate are Skyloft ruins, that's kind of cool if they are. A balloon. We just read that one. Of the Thunderhelm, Riju and Gerudo Town. You solved the problems of everyone in town. Riju gave you the Gerudo symbol of friendship, and you got the Thunderhelm. The search for Barta, Liana, and Gerudo Town. Barta seems to have made it back to Gerudo Town in one piece, but it sounds like Liana really chewed Barta out for making her worry. Maybe we should lay low for a little while. Medical Molduga. From Milena, you handed over Molduga cuts to Milena to help fix her husband's illness. She was overjoyed and left to get her husband healthy again. The 8th heroine, Bozai in the Gerudo Desert. The 8th heroine is still worshipped by her faithful in the Gerudo Highlands. You captured her in a picture and received sand boots from Bozai as promised. The Mystery Polluter. Dahlia in Gerudo Town. Dahlia planted the wild berries she received from Kaliman and said that it's okay to pick them once they're grown. When the source of the water pollution cleared up, all that's left to do is wait for the wild berries to grow. The Secret Club secret, Greta in Gerudo Town. You discovered the secret password. The password is GCS Diamond. Now you can go in wherever you want. Tools of the Trade, Isha from Gerudo Town. Isha the jeweler ran out of flint and was feeling pretty worried. Since you brought her 10 pieces, she's able to reopen her store. The Forgotten Sword, Bozai in Gerudo Desert. You found the 8th heroine's sword at the summit of the Gerudo Highlands. You took a picture of the sword, so Bozai kept his promise to give you the snow boots. Missing in action, Sesame, the Gerudo Canyon stable. Okay, actually, we're going to take a quick break here. Go back up. So, this quest and this quest are required to get the Gerudo. Makes sense. This quest isn't, which makes sense. He's not a Gerudo and he's outside the town. This one is required. This one, I'm not sure if this one's required or not, because I think it said there was... No, this one is not required. But this one kind of makes sense why it's not required, because this is like an underground and secret activity. This one is required. That's the last one that is required for the Thunderhelm. Again, he lives outside, so that one doesn't count. The one that I find weird is actually the Shrine Quest, where... I'll see if I can find it. Where you have to bring Pokey her drink. I think it's weird that this quest is not counted for the Thunderhelm. Because you're helping a member of Gerudo Town make it back into the village when she probably would have died in the desert otherwise. And because you brought the ice block in, you're helping a business that was like running low on supplies and was probably about to shut down stay in business. So you're helping two of the Gerudo women solve their problems with this Shrine Quest. But that's not considered helping Gerudo Town to get the Thunderhelm. That's weird. Missing in action. From Sesame in the Gerudo Canyon stable. You saved all 4 of Sesame's friends who had been pinned down by monsters and unable to move. And so the curtain closes on the case of the Gerudo Canyon disappearances. Russian Russ from Piroi. You traded 55 Russians to Piroi at the Gerudo Canyon stable for a diamond. But it seems like you could use more. If you bring them, he'll pay twice the market value for another 55 Rushrooms. Gosai's horse. Zyle in the Gerudo Canyon. Zyle lost his horse during his travels, and he seems to have approved of the one that you gave him to replace it. You gave the horse to him for 300 rupees. Nice guy. Guy from the Karakar Bazaar. You made a cooling elixir by combining a chilling insect with monster parts. Guy appreciated what you did for him. Your knowledge of the ingredients for a cooling elixir could come in handy later. A freezing rod in the Great Hyrule Forest from Kula. You showed Kula a rod that harnesses the power of ice. A magical rod that you now have can send blasts of ice at monsters to freeze them solid. It should be very handy in battle. Weirdly, these are considered Great Hyrule Forest, not the Korok Forest, because like you get these in like basically the same area as the trials. But okay, the Korok Trials. Chiao in the Great Hyrule Forest. In the southwest, the Trial of Second Sight. In the northwest, the Lost Pilgrimage. In the east, the Trial of Wood. You completed these 3 trials, reported your success to Chiao, and received a reward. The Riddles of Hyrule. Malton in the Great Hyrule Forest. You answered all 5 of Walton's riddles, completing the Riddles of Hyrule trial. Legendary Rabbit Trial. Peaks from the Great Hyrule Forest. You showed Peaks a picture of a Bloopy. The Bloopy is a rare glowing creature that drops rupees when you shoot it with an arrow. Special delivery. Actually, I want to mention, I've been watching a lot of Croton and his challenge runs. And there's a part of Croton's challenge runs, he did one where he had a Korok challenge where you're supposed to be a Korok. Where you'd only wear the Korok mask and you'd only use the Korok weapons. And as like a part of like the sub rules of the challenge, he had the rule that he had to complete all 3 of the like Korok shrine quests. But kind of annoyingly, he didn't like bother doing all of the other Korok quests. I think he did the Blizzard Rod one, but he didn't do the taking the picture of the Bloopy. He didn't do the riddles. And it's like I feel like that like, okay, you have the riddles, getting the Lionel Hoof might have been a bit tough. But I feel like, if you're going to help that many of the Koroks, you might as well just help them all. That's the point of the challenge. But what do I know? Delivery. Finley in the Bank of Wishes. Sasson arrived safely at Zoro's domain and met with Finley. Your part of the matter is concluded, though it remains to be seen whether Sasson can put on the muscle Finley hopes for. Lionel Safari, from LaFlat in Zora's domain. You showed LaFlat a picture of a red-maned Lionel. She gave you her Zora Greaves as a reward. The Giant of Rail's Pond from Torfio. You defeated the Hinox of Rail's Pond and reported it to Torfio, who praised you. Frog catching. Tumbo. Tumbo gave you an amaranth in exchange for 5 hot-footed frogs. He seemed pretty pleased with the whole arrangement. I don't remember that one, but okay. The Zora Stone Monuments from Giotto. You found all 10 stone monuments and part of Giotto. Giotto will benefit greatly from this. Diving is beauty. Groove. The diving and waterfall climbing was so beautiful you made Groove's very soul flutter with mighty vigor. Luminous Stone Gathering. From Leto. You gave Leto 10 luminous stones to aid in repairs to Zora's domain. And actually, I don't know if I'm crazy or not. A lot of my money in this game I made by trading luminous stones to that guy diamonds. And I'm looking back and I'm wondering, wait, was I actually not supposed to do that? Because I seem to have it in my head that I checked the sell price of luminous stones and they sold for 40 a pop. And so I was like, okay, I'm going from 400 to 500. That's a profit. Turns out, no. Turns out, like, again, maybe I'm misremembering this one. Turns out luminous stones sell for 70. So I could have gotten 700 instead of 500 if I hadn't traded them for diamonds. Why did I keep trading them for diamonds? Why is that an option? I just assumed I was profiting. But I didn't look close enough, and I wasn't. What the hell? What the heck? What in hell? A wife washed away from Prawn. You found May fishing in Lake Hylia. She left the fish she caught with you and hurried back. A gift from the monks. Monk. Ancient shrine. That's kind of funny. I guess because, listening to actual last monk you talked to and to their shrine would have been, too complex. There would have been 120 different variables. So it's just monk, ancient shrine. Nah, that's enough. You accepted the trial from the monks at the Forgotten Temple. Inside, you found a special green outfit made especially for the hero who braved the wilderness alone. Will donning this outfit help you become the land's true hero? The hero's cash. An ancient hero spoke these words. One day I'll return to fight. My cash is at 17 of 24. This rock will point towards its retrieval. You've solved the riddle of the ancient verse that Cass recited and earned a gold rupee for your trouble. Actually, you know what? I wonder what it would be like. Maybe speedrunners do this for 100%. I wonder if, the Forgotten Temple was, the last shrine you found. How cool it would be to, leave that shrine and just the outfit is right there for you. If I knew that there was going to be a reward in the Forgotten Temple for doing all the shrines, I would have saved that shrine for last. Because I think it would have just been so cool to just come up out of the elevator and just run straight towards those chests. I think you'd have to run straight and then curve around because I think the door is facing away from the goddess statue, if I'm remembering right. But, run straight towards those chests. Misko, the Great Bandit, from Dalmadak in the Dueling Peak Stable. You got a riddle from the treasure hunters about a treasure hidden by someone called Misko, the Great Bandit. The little twin steps over the little river. My cave rests above that river's source. You managed to crack the riddle, and locate the treasure. Wild horses from Renza at the Dueling Peak Stable. You rode a wild horse to the stable before time ran out. Renza looks a little put out to have been dethroned in the Hyrule horse taming competition. A gift to Nightshade. Wabin in Faron. It turns out that while Wabin was working up the nerve to talk to Herta, she'd been waiting for him to approach her. The confession of love wasn't exactly ideal, but at least the soulmates are both finally talking. Hunt for the Giant Horse. From Straria in the mountain archery camp, you captured the giant horse in the Taobab grasslands. Giant was an accurate description, to be sure. The beast could probably trample monsters with ease. I never even tried that. I wonder if you could trample a moblin with a giant horse. When he brought it back to Straria, he was very surprised. The horseback hoodlums from Perosa in the Highland Stable. You defeated all the gang members, causing trouble in the grasslands. Perosa was so happy with the news, she gave you an Endura carrot as a reward for your hard work. It's said that the horses are quite fond of those. Did he feed an Endura carrot to my horse? I can't remember. I think I did at one point. I definitely did at one point because I remember the extra spurs, but that was like after that quest, or if that was just some other time. I fit it into Arcade Horse. Thunder Maggot from Chima or Sema in Lakeside Stable. Sema seems relieved to hear the news, though it sounds like she still hates all the noise a thunderstorm makes. A gift for the Great Fairy, Torn into the Bantha Bridge Stable. Will Torn's lifelong dream of being the Great Fairy finally come to him at last? Actually, it's kind of interesting that. Okay. Well, let's think about this a little bit. There's a main quest to find the Kakariko. There's a side quest to find the Tabantha Great Fairy, which I assume you have to find that Great Fairy to do this quest. Maybe it's just you have to activate Ending 2. I don't know. But for the Gerudo Great Fairy, there's the quest to rescue the Gerudo woman and the Leviathan bones, both of which would lead you to that fairy fountain, even though that's technically not a part of the quest. The Great Fairy by Lake Kala, there is no quest to go find that Great Fairy. There's like no hints to go to that area. The closest you've got is Terrytown, where I think like maybe if you took like the most direct path from Hateno to Terrytown, maybe you'd pass the domain, but still Terrytown's a bit of a ways from that fountain. It's weird that that one has like no like guidance to get to it. Maybe that's why it's the last one I found. But that's definitely odd. Leviathan bones. You took pictures of the Leviathan bones in Eldin, Heber, and Gerudo. As thanks for advancing the cause of paleontology, Akra gave you 300 rupees. I wonder if that changes based on whichever one you talked to last. Or maybe it's whoever you talked to first, because who gave you the quest? I don't know. That's Akla from the Swinging Stable. The Royal Guard's gear, Percy in the Riverside Stable. Though Hyrule Castle was destroyed 100 years ago, you ventured inside and found a part of the Royal Guard series, famous among equipment collectors. When you showed Percy the traveler at the stable, she seemed to be more curious about it than ever. Hopefully she won't do anything reckless. Uh-oh. Actually, apparently there are some, because there's like, at times you can find those people, tactical goblins. Apparently, sometimes when you rescue those guys, they'll start spawning in other locations to be rescued again. There is one that I kind of regret not saving because there's a guy that gives you like a bit of like the story of Akala Citadel. Missed that guy. Never really properly addressed Akala Citadel. It just snuck in with stealth and then never really went back to it because the Koroks were all on the roof. But apparently there is like a little bit of bonus dialogue if you do them all. But also, they're repeatedly attacked over and over again. You can save them like infinite times. So I'm not like super upset about not going and saving them all. Royal recipe, Goddard in the Riverside Stable. You prepared a meal fit for a king and served it to the lovely stable worker, Goddard. The dish was just sublime. He was pleased. He may become even more beautiful. Weird that this one doesn't list the recipe, though. The other one, I guess because the other one's a person taught you a recipe as a reward for the quest, question mark? But you think that this would record the recipe to help you finish the quest. But I guess not. Riverbed reward. Isra and the Wetland Stable. You pulled the sunken treasure chest from the bed of Hylia River and reported its contents to Isra. Isra went home, satisfied, to the Wetland Stable. My hero. Eliza in the Outskirts Stable. Eliza was waiting for the hero's return around the stable at the plain's edge. When you showed her the master sword, she acknowledged you as the one she'd been waiting for. A rare find. Trot in the Outskirts Stable. Trot, a stable hand at the Outskirts Stable, found color returning to his cheeks for the first time in a while after a meaty dinner. From now on, he'll pay you 100 rupees out of his own pocket each time you bring him some raw gourmet meat. Raw and wriggling. A royal white stable. Toffa, Outskirts Stable. You showed the white horse to Toffa at the Outskirts Stable. As thanks, he presented you with a royal saddle and bridle. According to Toffa's grandfather, the sight of Princess Zelda at the reins of her white horse is more beautiful than you could imagine in the world. He could imagine in the world. Okay. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Collaboration with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You found all 3 red shooting stars that landed in various parts of Hyrule. In Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the people who collect sunken treasure in the Cloud Sea are called salvagers. Use these 3 gears you've collected to like a true salvager. I wonder exactly like how this like collaboration quest like works in relation to the DLC. Like, first off, it's interesting enough that it's like the very last thing on the list. But like, if I remember right, this quest activated when all the DLC ones did, when you landed off of the Great Plateau. So I wonder if like this is just something that was downloaded to the game for like everyone after a few updates, or if it's something that you had to like buy both of the DLCs for, or I don't know what the deal with this one is. Like how exactly the collaboration like triggers to like download it, because it's clearly extra content. Presumably whatever update added in the champion gear for the amiibo, because I don't think those amiibo were out when the game first came out. Now theoretically, there is one other thing we could do. I could go at and keep trying it over and over until I win the gambling. But I don't think I'm going to bother with that. I think that I'm cool right now with what I've done so far. So now that I think is going to be the last video on this game. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a list of some shit to go visit before we start Tears of the Kingdom. But don't bet. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.